If you don't like politics but still care about your wallet, then keep watching. MAGA and Bidenomics are battling it out. Here's what you need to know. First up, MAGA. MAGA stands for Make America Great Again, and it's all about nationalism and protecting American jobs. Think tariffs, trade wars, and tax cuts mainly for the rich. It had some initial success, but the pandemic hit hard and inequality spiked. Now Bidenomics. This approach focuses on government spending, social safety nets, and rebuilding American manufacturing. Key moves include the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the Inflation Reduction Act. So far, it's delivered strong job growth, controlled inflation, and wage increases, especially for low-income workers. But it's not all smooth sailing. Political gridlock and public skepticism are big hurdles. So, which vision will shape America's destiny? MAGA's bold nationalism or Bidenomics' push for fairness and revival? The choice is ours. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's shape our future together. Time to break down the battle of the bucks. MAGA versus Bidenomics. First up, MAGA, Trump's economic playbook. Think tax cuts and deregulation, corporate taxes slashed from 35% to 21% to boost business growth. America. First was the mantra, with tariffs on China and renegotiated trade deals. Supporters cheer for revived manufacturing and self-reliance. Critics? They blame trade wars and price hikes. Now, Bidenomics. Big government spending and progressive taxation. Biden rolled out a $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan and a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Plus, a hefty investment in clean energy and student loan forgiveness. Fans point to job creation and lower prescription drug costs. But inflation and economic instability? They're the dark clouds on this horizon. So whose economic vision will prevail? The tax-cutting, business-boosting MAGA, or the big-spending, middle-class-loving Bidenomics? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get the debate rolling. The year is 2025. America finds itself at a crossroads, grappling with the aftermath of a global pandemic and facing an uncertain economic future. Two contrasting economic philosophies, Bidenomics and MAGA economics, have emerged as dominant forces, each vying to shape the nation's destiny. These divergent paths reflect deeply held beliefs about the role of government, the nature of economic growth, and the very fabric of American society. Bidenomics, championed by President Joe Biden, represents a significant departure from the laissez-faire economics of recent decades. At its core, Bidenomics embraces a more active role for government in stimulating economic growth and addressing social inequities. This approach, often likened to a Green New Deal, prioritizes investments in renewable energy, infrastructure, and social programs as key drivers of sustainable and equitable prosperity. A cornerstone of Bidenomics is the belief that climate change presents not just an existential threat, but also a generational economic opportunity. Massive investments in clean energy technologies, coupled with stricter environmental regulations, aim to accelerate the transition to a low-carbon economy while creating millions of high-paying jobs in emerging green industries. Beyond its environmental focus, Bidenomics seeks to revitalize the American middle class through a combination of policies designed to increase wages, expand access to healthcare, and provide affordable education. Raising the minimum wage, strengthening collective bargaining rights, and investing in workforce training programs are just some of the tools Bidenomics employs to create an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the top. In stark contrast to Bidenomics stands MAGA economics, the economic doctrine espoused by former President Donald Trump and his followers. Rooted in the principles of supply-side economics, MAGA economics advocates for a smaller role for government, lower taxes, and deregulation as the primary means to unleash economic growth. This approach, often referred to as trickle-down economics, posits that by reducing the tax burden on businesses and wealthy individuals, investment and job creation will flourish, ultimately benefiting all Americans. Central to MAGA economics is a deep skepticism of government intervention in the economy. Tariffs, trade wars, and protectionist policies are favored tools to shield American businesses from foreign competition and encourage domestic production. This inward-looking approach, often framed in the language of economic nationalism, seeks to restore American manufacturing to its former glory and reduce reliance on global supply chains. Proponents of MAGA economics argue that its emphasis on tax cuts, deregulation, and energy independence will lead to a surge in economic growth, higher wages, and renewed American prosperity. They contend that by unshackling the private sector from burdensome regulations and taxes, businesses will be free to innovate, create jobs, and drive economic expansion. The clash between Bidenomics and MAGA economics represents a fundamental debate about the role of government in a modern economy. Bidenomics, with its emphasis on public investment and social safety nets, reflects a belief that government can be a force for good, correcting market failures, and ensuring a more just and equitable society. MAGA economics, on the other hand, espouses a more libertarian view, arguing that government intervention often hinders economic growth and that the free market, left to its own devices, will ultimately deliver the best outcomes for all. As America navigates the challenges of the 21st century, the choice between these competing economic visions will have profound consequences for generations to come. The outcome of this debate will shape not only the nation's economic future, but also its social fabric, its place in the world, and its very identity. The American economy stands at a crossroads. Two starkly different economic philosophies compete for dominance: the populist nationalism of MAGA and the progressive interventionism of Bidenomics. Each approach promises a path to prosperity, but their underlying assumptions and policy prescriptions are miles apart. This ideological divide has fueled bitter partisan battles, leaving many Americans wondering which path offers the best way forward. This essay will delve into the core tenets of MAGA and Bidenomics, examining their strengths and weaknesses. While both offer valuable insights, neither provides a complete solution to the complex challenges facing the American economy. A hybrid model, combining the best elements of both approaches, offers a more pragmatic and sustainable path to prosperity. Ultimately, the success of any economic policy depends on adaptability, innovation, and the balanced leadership of politicians, businesses, workers, and individuals. By fostering a spirit of collaboration and embracing a balanced approach, America can navigate the challenges of the 21st century economy and build a more prosperous future for all its citizens. The MAGA movement, spearheaded by former President Donald Trump, champions an economic philosophy rooted in free market principles, deregulation, and a strong emphasis on American economic interests. At its core, MAGAnomics seeks to unleash the power of the private sector by reducing taxes, slashing regulations, and renegotiating trade deals to favor American businesses and workers. Proponents of this approach argue that lower taxes incentivize investment, leading to job creation and economic growth. They contend that excessive regulations stifle innovation and entrepreneurship, acting as a drag on economic expansion. Furthermore, MAGA advocates champion economic nationalism, advocating for policies that protect American industries from foreign competition and prioritize American jobs and manufacturing. While MAGAnomics has its share of critics, its emphasis on free markets, deregulation, and a pro-business environment has resonated with many Americans, particularly those who feel left behind by globalization and the perceived excesses of government intervention. The appeal of MAGAnomics lies in its promise of a return to a time when American industry reigned supreme and the American dream felt attainable for all. In stark contrast to the free market fundamentalism of MAGA, Bidenomics embraces a more active role for government in shaping the economy. President Biden's economic agenda prioritizes government-led investments in infrastructure, green energy, education, and healthcare, with a focus on creating jobs, combating climate change, and reducing income inequality. Bidenomics rests on the belief that strategic government investments can stimulate economic growth, create a more equitable society, and enhance America's long-term competitiveness. Central to Bidenomics is a commitment to tackling climate change through massive investments in renewable energy, energy efficiency, and clean transportation. The Biden administration views the transition to a green economy not only as an environmental imperative, but also as an opportunity to create millions of high-paying jobs in emerging industries. Furthermore, Bidenomics emphasizes support for the middle class through policies such as tax cuts for middle-income families, expanded access to affordable health care, and increased funding for education and job training. By investing in human capital and addressing long-neglected social needs, Bidenomics aims to create a more inclusive and equitable economy that benefits all Americans, not just those at the top. The success of Bidenomics hinges on its ability to deliver on its ambitious promises and convince a skeptical public that government can be a force for good in the economy. The stark contrast between MAGA and Bidenomics reflects a deeper ideological divide within American society. While both approaches offer valuable insights, neither provides a complete solution to the complex challenges facing the American economy. A hybrid model, combining the best elements of both approaches, offers a more pragmatic and sustainable path to prosperity. Such a model would encourage private sector growth through reasonable tax policies, while also recognizing the need for strategic government investments in areas such as infrastructure, education, and clean energy. It would embrace the dynamism of the free market while acknowledging the importance of government regulation in protecting consumers, workers, and the environment. Fiscal responsibility would be paramount, ensuring that government spending is sustainable and does not lead to runaway inflation or unsustainable levels of national debt. Ultimately, the success of any economic policy depends on adaptability, innovation, and the balanced leadership of politicians, businesses, workers, and individuals making informed financial decisions. By fostering a spirit of collaboration and embracing a balanced approach, America can navigate the challenges of the 21st century economy and build a more prosperous future for all its citizens.
America's future is being shaped right now, and you are a part of it. Which economic vision do you believe in? MAGA's free market approach or Bidenomics' government-driven strategy? Comment below with your thoughts. Let's start a powerful debate. Like this video if you found it insightful, share it with friends to keep the conversation going. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on global trends shaping our world. The future isn't just about politics, it's about you. Let's build an informed, engaged, and powerful community together.